Okay, guys, thanks for coming today. I think I know everybody in this room, so that's good. So if you don't know me, my name's Tim. I'm the director of the library here. So first of all, I just want to say thanks for coming today, and I hope traffic and access to the library wasn't too difficult because they closed Adams Street off, right? So again, thank you for coming, and thank you for supporting the library each and every year. We couldn't do what we do without your support and your help, and then we'll talk about how your support is helping us right now as we move forward. But before we start, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. How many items do you think we circulated last year in the library? Board of directors are not allowed to answer.
3,273,000.
Oh wow, that's very optimistic. I would love 3 million. So we actually circulated over 208,000 items last year. It's the highest circulating library in the OWL system. OWL system is 42 libraries, and that's what OWL stands for, is the counties that we're associated with: Ontario, Wayne, Wyoming, and Livingston counties. So highest circulating library in all of those 42 libraries, and I'd love to be able to brag about that. How many people do you think attended, who came into the library last year, walked through our doors? 355 days, whatever we're open.
A lot.
Over 74,000 came through our doors last year. And that, again, one of the highest attendance of any of the libraries in the OWL system. Canandaigua might have us beat, but I'm competitive enough that I would like to say that we're probably the highest attended as well too. And what other questions? We have obviously this meeting room, and we have a small meeting room over there that we use for library programs and events, but they're also used for the public. If they want to come in, they can reserve a room for free if they have a business meeting, or the Boy Scouts are meeting, or whoever. Last year, these 2 rooms were reserved 346 times for events outside the library. So it's a busy, active place. It's interesting numbers. I can keep going on with statistics and bore you guys. But you can see just from some of those numbers, 208,000 items circulated. The attendance numbers were a busy, active, vibrant library. And we're doing so much more than just borrowing books. The programs, we've got a library of things out there now, so you can borrow a ukulele, which surprisingly is well circulated. I did not think that was going to be, that's hardly ever on the shelf. A metal detector that is frequently checked out. In fact, I just ordered another one because the first one's just checked out so much. So library things, that's growing every day. There's the sewing machine, there's a microscope kit, there's a telescope, there's racquetball rackets that will be out there soon, snowshoes, because it will snow again. So there are lots of things, so that is growing as well too. But today, what I really wanted to talk about was what we're doing moving forward now with the library. And we've got, I'm probably not even in this field of view, we've got 15 or so minutes, and then what's going to happen is that the librarians are going to come in here, and I'm going to go to the other group, and then instead of making you guys move and go to the other room, and the other group coming in here, we're just going to swap librarians. It's just easier to maneuver 4 or 5 people than it is 50 people. So we've got about 15 minutes, and what I really want to talk about today was where we're at with renovations. We're moved on from that vote last year, and now we're focusing on renovating this library, and we're taking it in phases or steps. And you guys will be one of the last groups of people to ever be in this room as it looks like this, right? Take a look at the carpet. You can see there's coffee stains, there's glitter bombs, there's tears, there's everything else that this carpet has seen over the, we've been here for this building has been here for 27 years now. And it's original carpet, it's the original, I think the walls have been painted once. So we're gonna be doing some renovations on the east side of the building, so which includes like the hallway behind you guys, all the way to here. This room, we're gonna be putting in some vinyl laminate tile instead of carpet, so the carpet gets lifted up, replaced with tile. It's easier to clean, it's easier to maintain. There's a coffee spill, it's not permanent. The kids are playing with markers and crayons. that gets cleaned up. It's much easier to maintain. So the floor, the walls are getting painted. We're taking down this strip here and just getting rid of it altogether. LED lights in here, efficient LED lighting. There is actually LED lighting on the main section of the library that was put in 10 years or so ago, 9 years. For some reason, this didn't get done, so we're going to update the LED lighting in here as well. New window treatments, new blinds. There's a closet in the back corner over there. That is going to be, we've already taken everything out of there, and we're going to have new shelving put in there. Storage, probably whether you're living at home or wherever you're working, is a premium, and storage is a problem here as well too. So we're going to have some shelving put in there, more storage. And I always seem to forget something, and someone's usually always with me to remind me what else I've forgotten, but I think that's it for this room. We'll go out into the hallway here. Again, the flooring's getting lifted and new tile getting put down. New paint, those walls have never been painted, and there's scuff marks, there's dings, there's scratches. It's really not in good shape. So new walls, new paint, I should say, new flooring, new LED lighting out there as well. Come around the corner, there's 2 public restrooms. Those are getting gutted in their entirety. So new tile altogether, getting rid of that. New fixtures, new hands-free soap dispensers, faucets, flushers, new stalls. The stalls in there are actually rusting a little bit, so we want to replace those as well. LED lighting in there as well. And if you've ever been, I'm not sure how many have ever been in this back section here, we have a small kitchen, there's a small staff break room in there as well. Again, new flooring, new paint, new kitchen countertop. There's a staff bathroom back there. That's not in bad shape, but we're gonna clean that, scrub that, new fresh paint in there as well. And then on top of that, that's it for like the big renovations on this side.
New
Yeah.
tables and chairs in this room.
Yeah, so so by the way, and I was just telling Patty this too, and Mitch, we had someone to come pick up these chairs, because we want to get new chairs and tables in here, and Patty had arranged someone to come pick up the chairs, and they let her know at like 9 o'clock last night that they're not gonna pick up the chairs. So, as a parting gift, you get the chair. But seriously, if you would like a chair for any purpose, take as many as you'd like. We'll find another way to get rid of them. But yeah, new tables, new chairs. We're gonna keep some of these. We have some of these white tables here. We've got some in storage right now as well. We're gonna get some smaller, easier to maneuver tables as well too. Excuse me. So we're just trying to make this library look like a 2023 library instead of a 1996 library. So that's this part over here. The other problem that we have is our doors. We have the entry-exit door over here. It's a set of doors, and then we have 2 sets of entry-exit doors. When you guys first came in, we got the first door, and then you come into a small vestibule, and then the second doors after that. The doors are worn out, they're old. These sets of doors over here don't close properly anymore. And my first thought was, let's replace the doors. I would love to have those sliding doors that open and close with a sensor above you. Let's replace those doors. I talked to the contractor, and they said, sure, we could do that. However, these sets of doors that you have here already, those alone are $30,000 a piece. So we can put those other doors in there for you, but it's gonna be more than $30,000 a piece. So 3 sets of doors, that's almost $100 grand just for doors. I said, well, let's keep the doors, you know. But they suggested replacing the hardware in those doors, because that's what the problem is. This door over here just won't close. You have to manually make sure it's pulled closed all the way, and it's largely because the hardware in the door is shot. So we're going to replace all the hardware in the doors, keep the doors, but replace the hardware, replace the handicap mechanisms, handicap door mechanisms as well. So that's part of it, and then part of the renovations. And then lastly, and this is unfortunate, but we don't live in the world that we lived in 20 years ago with the violence and the anger and everything. So we're gonna be putting in 3 panic buttons up at the circulation desk that will contact the authorities, and then we're putting in 6 security cameras as well too. And that will all be done before the end of the year. Actually, the renovations on this room and the hallway and everything, they actually start Monday. And that's why we've got 2 porta potties out here too, because people come to the library to check out a book, but they also come to use the public restrooms as well too. We should put a door counter on the public restrooms.
It's already been busy out there, I've been watching people.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's getting busy. Yeah, so we know that we need to update everything that we're doing here, slowly but surely. The total cost for everything here is around $190,000, which just seems like an awful lot of money, but that's where we're at these days. I'm happy to say that we've got a New York State Library Construction Aid grant that covers 75% of those costs. So very happy about that. And then really the rest of that, the other 25% is coming from you guys that have made donations to the library. So we've got this whole project covered in full without any taxpayer money at all. Usually now with grants, what ends up happening is you have to pay up front and then you get reimbursed, and we will get reimbursed next year. So we got to upfront the money and then we're going to get it back. So yeah, I'm thrilled to say that we're moving forward with renovations, and it should be done, most of it should be done, if all goes well, by mid-October-ish or so. We've got the original date that they gave us was October 13th, but that is like, if there's not one problem throughout the entire days that they're here. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to that. Moving forward after this, we're gonna start thinking about what phase 2 is gonna look like. And we have some preliminary drawings. They're general, generic drawings of what the rest of the library could look like out there. And we had some, through the new library process, new project for the library, we had some, we worked with architects and construction teams and everything. The architect did some pro bono work for us to help us kind of envision what the rest of the library could look like as we move forward. And we still have those drawings, and we're probably going to use that as a springboard to move forward into the next set of renovations coming up. With the next half, before I go on, do we have questions about what we're, yeah, Alan?
Are you using a general contractor, or are you filling that role?
Yeah, so we bid it out, and Hamilton Stern out of Pittsburgh is the general contractor for this, and I tell you what, they have been just remarkable to work with. I'm so pleased that we chose them. They are professional, they're courteous, they're responsible, they're taking care of everything. I've met with the project superintendent twice just this week, and I've met with them twice before that too, and they're on the ball. They ordered the porta potties for us. I was telling someone else earlier too that the porta potties, they said, we'll get the porta potties in for you, but if you would like us to manage them and make sure that they're cleaned weekly and all that stuff, that's an extra fee that we'll have to charge you for $177. I was like, that's money well spent. I don't want to deal with the porta potties. So they've been tremendous to work with, and I'm very happy. Now that's all we've had to work with in this phase. There's no architects involved. We're not relaying anything out. We're not reimagining the space to be used differently. So there's no architect fees. It's just the construction team, the contractor. I would really recommend them for any project that you've got going on. It's been tremendously pleasing to work with them. I'm glad. Yeah. No. Any other questions before we move on? I don't want to take up too much time because we got a timetable. Yeah, Bonnie.
Sorry, I do have a question.
Yeah.
Are there any thoughts about any exterior changes?
Yeah, so what we have going on right now, we're kind of working with the village. The village has put in a grant through New York State, the New York State Forward grant, I think it's called, to do some revitalization within the village. So the library is part of that, and we put in a grant or an application in part with the village to update the landscaping around here. And the Victor Garden Club has done a great job of maintaining the front area out here for many, many years. But I think it's time to kind of spruce that up and then move forward. So the outside, as far as the landscaping, could potentially have a grant award. We'll know by December for that. The outside of the building itself, we actually have someone coming in, not this Monday, but the following Monday and Tuesday to make some repairs on the siding. We have some wood rot going on around the windows. They're gonna be fixing that. We've got some repairs that need to happen over here. There's a brick that's missing over here. Some of the siding's torn off. We've got apparently some loose shingles, I've been told, and I cannot find where the loose shingles are, but they're somewhere up there. So we've got some maintenance going on and then some landscaping grant, hopefully moving forward in next year. Yeah, so phase 2, what we really want to focus on is one of the most heavily used areas of the library is the children's section. We can put in 3 families and then it's crowded. It's a lot of use and it gets crowded quick in there. So what we want to do is expand the children's section. We're not even thinking about keeping it in the same area. We're thinking about moving it over to where the large print is, the nonfiction, adult nonfiction section, expanding that, making that bigger, making the children's and the teen section kind of like the family area all together. Taking the large print section, for example, and moving that closer to the front door. People that read large print often are elderly, have a more difficult time walking. So we put that towards the front of the building. It just makes logical sense. And then moving the circulation desk and it's a lot going on there, but that's still a ways off. And we're gonna start really digging into that here, like this week, I think even we're gonna start digging into what phase 2 is gonna look like and what that's gonna cost and everything. Now the nice thing is, we can take that block diagram of the potential new library layout, we can give that to a contractor like Hamilton Stern, and I'm thinking that they will be very happy to give us a free estimate on what those costs were gonna look like. We can't even begin to plan for these renovations until we have an idea of costs and how much we need to fundraise and where we can get grant money from and things like that. So they can at least give us a ballpark of what those renovation costs would look like. And then when we have those, then we can move forward with, if we choose to move forward, then we can spend some money and get some more detailed architect drawings. We're talking about knocking walls down and adding walls, and it's gonna be a bigger project. Now, I have no idea if we can stay open during that time, or if we have to have a satellite, if we just open a section of the library while the other half gets renovated. I mean, there's a lot of questions that need to be answered still. This phase 1 has been real good practice for us in thinking out all the logistics that need to move forward. And it's not just me doing it. We've got the librarians are very, very helpful, and we're working together as a team. At first, when we first started thinking about this months ago, one of the librarians came to me, what are we gonna do with all the stuff that's in here? I'm like, oh, yeah, we gotta move the stuff. We can't keep the stuff in here too. That's gotta go somewhere else too. So it's things like that. As you move forward, you gotta start thinking about where everything's gonna get parked. What are we gonna do for public restrooms? There's just a lot going on. So
Where is this stuff?
So Greta worked out a location at the Methodist Church, the brick church across from Church Street.
Yeah.
So most of the stuff is in there. We've got boxes and boxes of books. We've got extra tables. We've got a lot of stuff in there right now. Then that leads me to another point too. We will still have programs going on. Most of those are going to be held either at the Methodist Church or at the fire hall. And so just check back in. If you want to come do a program, check to see where it's going to be. Some of the more the repeated events, card games, mahjong, we're actually going to hold that in the library on the floor, kind of where all the food and everything is in that general area right now. Large prints, wherever we can find space. So mahjong, weekly card games, they're still going to be in the library. Other events, just check to see where the location is. It's either, like I say, at the call it the brick church. I grew up here and it was the brick church and it was the white church. So at the brick church, that's where some of the programs will be. I think chair yoga is going over there, Tai Chi is going over there, and some of the more one-off programs will be at the fire hall. So that's what's going on right now at the library in a 15 or 20 minute recap. You guys have any questions?
Tim, what's the status of all the infrastructure? You know, the heating and cooling and that kind
Oh,
of stuff?
okay, good, yeah, thank you, Bonnie. Yeah, so, 27-year-old building, we've got 4 furnaces in this building, they're all in the ceiling, there's actually one over here. They had reached their end of useful life, so we replaced those as well too in, I think, January or February. And we bid that out again. Dalton Heating and Cooling off of Victor Egypt Road installed those for us, and they've been wonderful to work with as well too. They also replaced the AC units. So we're good to go, hopefully for another 25 years or so. They were really, I think you're supposed to keep them for 20 years or so, and we were on 27 years. It was time. When they pulled one of the furnaces down, they did note there was a small crack in the heat exchanger, so it was, we caught this at the right time. And then, you know, moving forward now, we've got a great building and grounds committee that is assessing all the needs of the library, the building, and we've done our math and we said it's gonna cost, we think it's gonna cost this much for a hot water tank, and the last one was installed 5 years ago, so how much do we need to save for the next 15 years before it needs to be replaced? Same thing with the roof. If you do the calculations, how old's the roof, when do we need to replace it, how much is the roof gonna cost? So now we're tucking away money into the reserve fund for maintenance on the library as well too. So we're prepared moving forward. I'm really glad to see that we're making some great strides and putting money aside for things that have a useful life on them. So, yeah, we're trying to do good things and we're trying to attract more people in here every day. So there's a lot going on. Libraries, again, is preaching to the choir. You guys know how important libraries are in any community, and they're going to continue to be relevant. And lots of people, I just had someone say to me, well, who's coming into the library? And he was actually a village employee, and I can't believe the village employee said that to me, but he should have known better. But I politely explained, there's 30 people coming in to play today to play bridge, you know, and it's just an ongoing struggle. So I appreciate everyone's effort and continued support of what we're doing. So do we have any other questions?
Thank you, Tim.
Yeah. No. Okay, so I think what we'll do now is I'll go round up the ladies and then we'll swap and you go get them? Okay, thank you. Yeah, and I don't think I had anything else going on. Let me see. Yeah. Oh, okay, here's another fact, I think. How many people do you think attended library programs last year? All the different things between story times and mahjong and all that stuff. We had 11,400 people coming in for programs. So that's a lot of people. That's a lot of people.
Tim, I thought of a plus for playing mahjong in the public spaces in the library. More people will see us playing
Yeah.
and might be interested in learning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, the same thing. More people will realize that there's things going on at the library that they didn't know about.
Yeah.
This room is great, isn't it? I mean, it's an all-purpose room, but it's tucked away. You don't necessarily see that when you walk in. So if you're out there playing card games, then you're gonna get more mahjong players.
Yeah, yeah.
You'll be loaded
That,
up.
I didn't know you had a pasta maker, and I'm checking that out.
Right? Yeah. Okay, guys, thank you very much. If you have any questions at any time, today, in the future, just give me a shout, right? I saw you guys in the parking lot one day, and heard the spiel here last week or 2 weeks ago. Yep.
Thank
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. How are you, Debbie?
Any place that we were, and then does it the same thing with my sisters?
What's your, it's gonna be in October.
We're in the old section, you know,
Or 6?
I mean, well, have you moved to I grew up in Philadelphia, and then I moved away for 30 years.
So my husband is we grew up here, but then he lived here for a while, then moved away, and then when we got married, we decided this would be our home. So I'm so glad we did.
So as a child, I went to that. That was the library I knew.
I know, and it was really cute, I really liked it, I love libraries anyway, I'm a retired English teacher, so, you know, it's a very long spot to get part of that. And I liked it, and then they said they were one year, I said, well, now I know, it was 3 years. You know, when he said the date that they built this, so I went to that library. It was transferred to a year. So.
I mean, it's a big deal. And it was 30 years ago, and Victor conversation.
Oh my word, I was so disheartened. But I also understood that some of the struggling with COVID, losing their job in a tiny home.
Phase 2 is here. Sorry for the wait. Okay. Hi, everybody. It's nice and cool back here. So here we are, the librarians. My name is Greta. For those of you that don't know me, I think I know most everybody here. I'm the community services librarian here. My primary function is to put together the adult programming, but I also do outreach into the community. So this is going to be just a little bit interactive. I want people to guess, about how many people do you think attend adult programs each month?
300.
Not bad. Anybody else? Don't be shy.
250.
Okay. 500. So I brought my cheat sheet for statistics. So the average number in 2023, I didn't go back, is 592 a month.
Oh, very good.
In March, it was the highest attendance number that I've had, which is 806 in 1 month. And in June, it was the least, and I was even surprised that it was over 516. So it's an example, and I think we'll all give examples of how libraries are doing so much more than just loaning books, which is what many people in the community feel that we do and wonder why we're important. So I'm going to try to condense because we're running a little bit late. Some of the types of programming that we offer here are physical fitness and health oriented, including yoga twice a week, Tai Chi. We just started an 8-week Tai Chi series that we're hoping will be able to continue as a just walk-in, similar to our yoga classes. We have a weekly collaboration with Victor Hiking Trails, which Lisa helps with. And what we do is we hike or walk somewhere in the Victor area or the surrounds. Sometimes we have guest speakers, like the botanist Bruce Gilman. He joined us last week, 2 weeks ago, and he is so knowledgeable, it's amazing. So that's another weekly program. And then we get series that come in, one from the University of Rochester called Healthy Living, that is another 8-week series that helps people slowly change their lifestyle to be healthier and avoid cancer and whatnot. We do arts and crafts programs. We have one of our teachers here. So that's the question that I didn't ask this time. How many people here have attended any type of adult program here? That's great. Excellent. How many people have taught a program here? Excellent. Good. Thank you. Thank you all. It's not just fiscal help that we need or assistance. It really takes a village to run a library, and I really appreciate all your efforts. Let's see, we do games, weekly games here. We offer yoga. We offer euchre and hand and foot. We've had ever since I've been here, a weekly mahjong group that B used to help with. I don't work on Mondays when they come, so I'm not sure exactly who's been coming, but that's okay. It's very popular, and periodically we also offer a mahjong class, a 4 or 5 part series Mahjong is a little intimidating if you're just learning. So the instructors are wonderful. We just finished one and everybody was very pleased. Because of the renovations, there aren't a whole lot of evening programs. Typically I have 2 or 3 evening programs for adults on top of the daily programs and anything on the weekend. Because of the renovations and we don't have use of this room. In September, the only evening program that I moved off site will be at the fire hall. It's an eclipse program given by the Rochester Museum and Science Center's Dan Schneiderman. He is their eclipse coordinator. And he will be not only talking about the total eclipse that's coming in April, but there's a partial eclipse that we should be able to see in October. So I'll be talking about both of those. In October, I think we're all really excited to be offering, in conjunction with Danielle, who is the librarian at the Victor High School, what's called a human library. Has anybody ever heard of a human library? Has anybody attended a human library? Okay, so I took a quote off their website. It was started in Netherlands and now it is worldwide. A human library is a library of people. Every human, quote unquote, book represents a group in our society that is often subjected to prejudice, stigmatization, or discrimination because of their lifestyle, diagnosis, belief, disability, social status, ethnic origin, etc. So it kind of gives you an idea. So if you see someone and your brain has a preconceived notion, what a human library does is offer you an opportunity. This is live. It will happen here at the library. We'll have 8 books, I believe. And what we'll invite people to do is come in, check out a book, which gives you an opportunity to sit and speak with someone one-on-one or 2-on-1 if you're with your husband or partner, and just have a conversation. And I've attended 2, and they're very powerful because we're all humans. So I'm looking forward to that. In November, did anybody see our summer reading mandala, sand mandala? Katie Jo Sotheby is a sand artist out of Rochester who created, here we go. I forgot this last time. This is this image is this, I'll pass this around. It's all sand, it's not glued. And it's a Tibetan tradition. She created that in 2 days, and we had it on display for 2 weeks. She will be coming back, and she's giving some sand art classes here, starting in September, this month. And she will be creating a gratitude-themed sand mandala in November. So be sure to try to come in and either watch her create it, or at least check it out when you're checking out your books. And in December, Cam Underhill, who is the son of Joy Underhill, does anybody know Joy? Joy does our Pasenki classes. Cam Underhill works at the Steinway factory in New York City, and he's going to be doing a program here, The Making of the Steinway. Joy did one online for us during the pandemic, and she did a great job. And when I asked her to do it again, she said, well, why don't we just have Cam do it? So he'll be doing that in December. And then I have a list of different organizations that we partner with. If you want to see it, I can show it to you afterwards, but I want to be respectful of time. So I'm going to hand it over to Whitney, our teen coordinator.
Hi everybody, my name is Whitney Whitfield. I'm the newest librarian here. I'm the teen librarian. I've been here a little under a year. If you have any children or grandchildren at the high school or the elementary school, I used to sub over there, so they might know me from that. Over the summer, we had quite a few different programs of, sorry, I'm a little nervous. Since I've started here, I've been doing a bunch of different types of programs so that we can see what the teens are interested in coming to. The most popular one that we did over the summer was called the Oreo Olympics. There were 18 kids who came in. They got to try 21 different Oreos from around the world. They voted on which one was the best, and through a very scientific measure, they decided that the best ones are lemon and lemon and mint. It was a tie.
I like the coffee ones. So.
Yeah, I didn't like the ones that we liked.
Yeah.
During summer reading, we had 150 take and make kits that went out. There were 3 different options. One of them was a plant kit with native New York plants that they could take home and plant in a garden. The second one was making your own paracord bracelet. And then the third one was candy sushi, which was far and away the most popular. That one is Rice Krispie treats that they put Swedish fish on the top and like a sour belt. We had 81 participants for our summer reading, so this is the number of teens who signed up for our reading challenge. We had 240 who attended some kind of program where they got to take the item and leave, and we had 60 who attended in-person programs. The most popular program that we've had since I started here is our teen book boxes. That's a 3-month subscription period. They sign up and fill out a form of books that their preferences. I pick a book for them each month based on those preferences, put them in a box with some little treats that they get to keep. And they take it out, they read it, and they bring it back to me. When I started here, the first subscription I had was 4 teens. Now it is 16. Yes. So very popular. Coming up in the fall, we're going to have a sand mandala class with Katie Jo, which Greta helped facilitate. We're also having a watercolor class with Daryl, who is also doing some adult programs. And then starting next week, we're also going to be doing a book club for the teens called Silent Book Club. There's a couple of adult versions of it around Rochester, but how it works is you bring your own book. You sit in companionable silence with everybody, you read, and then when you're done, you can talk about what you liked about your own book. That way, they don't all have to agree on the same book. Getting 15 teens to agree on anything is a little hard. So that's what's coming up, and I'm gonna hand it to Christina.
Okay. Hello, I'm Christina Dipple. I'm the children's librarian, and we are supposed to be done in a minute, so I'm gonna go kind of a little fast. That's not your fault. I'm gonna go kind of fast, but afterwards, Greta will be in this room setting up for a program that starts at 11. Whitney will be in the teen area, and I'll be in the children's area, so I'm happy to talk more. We're all happy to talk more. If you help Greta, she'll talk to you. About, the things that we were gonna talk about, or just anything about our departments. So summer reading just ended a couple weeks ago. There's 2 parts of it. One is the 6 weeks of special events, and then the other part is the summer reading challenge. So the special events, we do 6 weeks. There's 2 or 3 things each day for different age levels. There's, of course, the story times. There's the crafts, the staples of the library. But we try to do more fun and exciting things to attract larger groups of people. And this year, actually, thanks to some generous donors, we were actually able to offer 8 special performers at the library, which is a lot more than we have ever done. 2 favorites that I'll mention are, we had a balloon twisting workshop the guy's a magician, and he did a short little magic show, and then he taught everybody how to make balloon animals. Because usually, they make an animal and they give it to you. Well, not just animals, but, so they made a dog. I participated because I've always wanted to do that. A dog. They made silly hats. I think a sword. He taught them how to make 4 or 5 specific things, and then because he had come with all of his balloons all blown up, he let them just make whatever they wanted at the end until the balloons were gone. And it was such a hit. They had an awesome time. Another favorite was, we had Benjamin Barry here, who did, last year for us, he did a hula hooping workshop for kids. And then this year he did circus arts for kids. So juggling, spinning plates on sticks and everything. And it was just really cool to see the kids. They had a blast with him. So that is the events part. The summer reading challenge part is where we challenge them to do some suggested activities. They got to choose which ones they did. They had to do 10 to finish their paper and come and spin the prize wheel and get a prize. But this year I focused it on learning more about what the library has to offer and utilizing those things. So there were things on there like borrow something from our library of things, which, hey, did you know we have tablets for kids with learning games? Did you know we have a metal detector, sewing machine? There was like borrow an audiobook. Here's your options. We have box books that like they have a little player on the inside, or we have the CDs, or you can download them on Libby. Go to a park. Hey, did you know we have Empire passes so you can get into a state park for free? Go to a museum. Go to a story walk in the museum. We have museum passes, of course. So and get your own library card, because a lot of kids will just use their parents. It's not like some parents, it's a big deal. They come immediately on their 5th birthday and they get that library card. But sometimes they're just like, oh, it's easier to, keep track of one. But so we had a lot of kids get their first library card this summer. So I think I like that. I think I'll do it next year that way too, like having it different ways to use the library, because the adults learn too. Oh, do we have all this stuff for kids? Oh, there's grown-up ones too. So fall programs will be beginning on Monday at the same time as this room and this side of the library will be torn apart. I'm very excited that this rug, take a look around you.
Say goodbye to the stained rug.
We've been like loathing this rug forever because the stains never go away. We get it professionally cleaned, they come back, whatever. I don't have to go into the details, but kids do so much on the ground that this has been really important to me, and I can't wait to have like a space where I can be proud of having families in here and crawling around and everything, and just have it be easy to clean. So I'm super excited for that. That does make some of our programs a little more difficult. We will be doing we have 5 days a week, we have story times. We'll be doing in the periodical section because the kids section is too distracting. And we have tried to do some off-site story times, and we got like overwhelming feedback that they want to do it here because it's like a one-stop shop. They don't just want the story time. They want story time, pick out books, return their books, meet up with their friends, play with the toys, get the kids out of the house. So we are keeping those in the library. So we'll see how it goes. It's probably going to be noisy from 10 to 10:30 every day, but you know what? That's okay. If you're sensitive to sounds, don't come during that time. So we are putting on hold some of our early learning play programs that we usually would do. I switch it up each year or each season, but we'll do like a play cafe where there's coffee and just a variety of toys and crafts for them to do. Or we'll do sensory play or messy art or a dance party. Those things require this large space. So once we have this room available again, we'll get to start doing those again, which is very exciting. And finally, because Whitney's book boxes are so successful, I want to do book boxes. And I finally, since we're doing a little fewer programs this fall, I thought this would be a good time to try out doing book boxes. So I'm going to start small with only 3rd through 6th graders and only 20 slots. 9 are taken already. And they have all month to sign up. So it'll be the same thing, some books chosen by me based on their suggestions, but I will also give them a wild card book to expand their reading horizons. And then they'll get little goodies in their box, like there will always be some type of craft kit, and then like a bookmark or a cute eraser or a fidget toy, things like that. I'm really excited for that because I know how successful hers are, and I know, and people do ask, is there a kids one? Is there a grown-ups one? But it's going to take a lot of time. So I'm starting small just to see like how much I can handle, how much work it takes, and how much money it costs to do. So I'm going to stop there because we're over time and I don't want to be responsible for keeping anybody too long.
Yeah.
I just want to say hello on behalf of the board. I'm the president of the board, Patty Sampson-Bouchard, and our board members are just so thankful for the time, talent, and treasures that all of you bring to the library. As you can see, we have an amazing staff. They're doing amazing things to keep the library relevant. Not easy in this day and age, as you know, but it's these other great things that you're hearing about. So thank you so much for being here today. Thank you so much for everything that you bring. And honestly, all of us on the board are just incredibly thankful for your support. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I also want to mention one thing that we all watch every year is we have a Monarch project, and our Story Walk books at this time of year coordinate with our Monarch project. We have some chrysalises left in tents in the library, and there is a Monarch that we'll be releasing shortly. If you want to say hi to it, feel free. It's actually very fascinating to watch. So that's my last plug.
So we'll be out in our sections. Greta will be in here. Happy to talk to you more, and please take some of that food, because I'm sure there's going to be
Yeah, please
a
take
lot of food left. Maybe we'll just let everybody who comes in.